One of the noisiest things that you will deal with on any vehicle are the doors. In the situation of this Mercedes Sprinter, there is almost no sound deadening on the other side of this door skin, which leads to a ton of noise, a ton of vibration. All that road noise comes right through the door skin and into the cab. So today, to try and fight that, I partnered with Second Skin Insulation, and we are going to dampen some of the sounds in the cab area of the van. And in order to get at the inside of the door card, this lower plastic portion has to come off. So we're gonna take everything out and get to it. Leave a comment down below with all the interesting stuff you keep in your door card. Now with the Sprint, I have several fasteners to undo before you can pull the door card off. There's one there in the top pocket. You've got one behind the handle itself. You've got two down in that pocket, and then three under there. All of that has to come off before we can pull the door card off. And just like that, the doors come off. And just like that. One last fucking clip. Just like that, the doors come off. Good God. I don't know if you guys can see this. I'm sure you've seen this kind of clip before in automotive stuff. Fuck you, Mercedes, for using these. Good Lord, these things are awful. Now, in order to get inside the door itself, we have to remove this, I guess it's a vapor barrier. We have to pull that off. It has some ultra sticky adhesive. I'll peel back, you can see there. So I am going to very slowly try and pull that off. This is actually coming off a lot easier than I expected it to. I thought this was going to be awful. Now I've got to find a way to get this cable back through, but I figure I'll get this whole like barrier off and then just kind of, yep, just like that. So there we go. You can see the adhesive all over the place. I'm going to lay this down. Okay, so now we can see inside the actual structure of the passenger side door. And we've got the window motor, the mount here for the door card itself. This is the cable for the lever lock, and then some other electronics and whatnot that plugs into like the locks and the window and that sort of thing. Okay, so there's the back of the outside door handle. Now, this track is where the window slides down. And what I need to do is get material on the inside of this, and I'm about to share with you what material. So they've got a tiny bit of sound deadening. This is probably not doing a damn thing, but you can also see the punches, or the plastic rivets, I guess. I don't know what to call them. The tabs for the plastic on the outside. And then it goes all the way down in there, and then there are holes like this, which is a weep hole to let moisture out of the door that may get in from up above. Okay, so I'm gonna try and obviously put some material here, some back here. It's gonna be difficult to do, obviously some down here. I don't think I'm going to remove this in order to get to this, so I may like sort of cut around these. Not really sure yet, but there it is. Let's keep moving. Okay, so this product here is it comes with a roller. It's pretty sweet. This is the sort of king of the castle in the Second Skin audio world. I'm using my leg to put this back. Okay, so this is what they call their Damplifier Pro. And it comes in these sheets. It's got the backer because it is very sticky, but this is a sort of butyl rubber foily, like there's foil on the outside. It's nice because it's black. It's not that shiny stuff. And tons of adhesive on the back. So the idea is to get as much on the door card of this as possible. Sorry, not the door card, the door skin itself, inside and on the outside where there's no covers and whatnot. And this is sort of your base layer. This is going to do the most. So since it's 80-ish degrees out right now, I'm actually kind of happy because that makes this material a little bit more flexible. So what I would like to do is not cut this because, you know, one, seamless sheet is going to perform better overall than, say, a one that's like cut up and has a bunch of stuff. So I'm going to figure out where I can put one sheet inside here, slide it behind the track, and kind of figure out where am I going to get the most performance. So I have room, like this is hollow behind here, so I may get in there with some smaller sections, but I think I'm just going to start just like this and start adhering up top here. See about rolling it and getting it adhered, and then sort of work my way down. Let's see how sticky this is. So there you can actually see the foil and the rubber. That's pretty sticky. It's not crazy sticky, but it's pretty damn sticky. So I'm gonna peel a little bit of this back along this whole edge so that I can go ahead and get it started with applying it inside the door. Okay, so that's 2 full sheets in. I didn't bother to film it all because, quite frankly, it is very boring to watch somebody cut this up. Also, the foil edges are sharp. Ask me how I know. So I got half of one sheet sort of up in here. This is half of one, and then I sliced it at an angle to try and fill in this gap down here. So we got to the corner piece, that's where that goes. I'm going to wait to see if I have enough material to put some strips down in there just to fill in. But generally speaking, the inside of the door has a good amount of material on it right now. They recommend, I believe it's 60% coverage. Obviously, with all the structure and all that kind of stuff, that starts to get difficult, but I think I've got a lot of it covered. Obviously, down in there is nothing yet, but I'm going to start outlining some stuff here and try and figure out exactly what needs to go in the outer part of the door before I move on to the next material. And fast forward a little bit, there we go. I've got some behind the speaker cavity, down behind the bottom pocket, all down inside the door, sort of as deep as I could get my hand down there to secure it, because I don't want to just flop it around in there, and then around the edges where the door card seals. Over there I didn't put much because it feels really solid when I'm knocking on it, and it honestly sounds really, really good. Just that little bit of improvement. You can see some sort of wobbling here. I don't know if the camera will pick that up, but it's definitely wobbling there. So I put a good chunk on there, but also because the door card sits almost right up against that, there's not a lot of room to put material back there, so I didn't want to overdo it and then not be able to get the door card on. So I'm calling that done. So we've got the outer layer of the drum, so to speak, handled with the Damplifier Pro product, but we can do more than just put some butyl rubber and foil on the door. We can actually not only add some insulative properties with an R value of just over 4 for this product. This is called Megazorb, and it also absorbs some sound waves as an open cell foam that is water repellent. So inside a door, this makes perfect sense. Not only that, but as you can see, it's not super duper thick, and therefore we can tuck it away into pockets like this, sort of here out of the way where it's not going to affect the function of the window. It will provide a good bit of insulation inside there, and yeah, let's get to it. Holy crap, guys, I just cut a strip of this. This cuts like butter by comparison to the other material. I mean, it's not really that surprising. Let's see if we can get the paper off. Oh, that's the trade-off. That's the trade-off. This is difficult. This is a peel-off adhesive or peel-off backing. There we go. Okay. Man, that is They weren't kidding. They were not kidding. Okay, so I'm gonna try to get that. Oh my gosh, this stuff is super duper sticky. Do not get that shit on your hands. Let's try and feed this up in here and get it to not stick to effing. Oh, Jesus. Oh my gosh. Pro tip, work in small panels. Good God. Okay, that's stuck to my finger for about half a second, and it's just not, like, that's not coming off. Oh, there, we can kind of roll it off. Good Lord, that stuff is sticky. So it's definitely never coming off the door. Never coming off the door, but be aware. Okay, so the adhesive is aggressive, but as you can see, I did get it off my hands in like less than a minute, just kind of rolling the glue around. It's a little bit frustrating to work with, and I have a very, very short tolerance for stuff like that because of my day-to-day career of, you know, breaking people's firearms all the time. So I'm hopeful that this doesn't get in the way of the window coming down. I guess we'll find out. I may have to rip the door card off. That's got a little bit of insulation in here. I am going to move on to the next product on the door card itself. So this product right here is called Overkill Pro. Now, they do have one that's a thinner product. This is 3/8 of an inch thick. However, it will work great for decoupling the door and adding a little bit more of the sound killing that we're after here. So see these deep pockets? There's a gap from the door skin, and this is going to hopefully fill up. Like, I'll put some there, I'll put some here, maybe a thin layer up here, and then on these larger surfaces I'll put the regular Overkill, and hopefully this will all add up to a much, much better experience. I am sort of lord of the jank right now with the way I did some of this. It's adhered with double-sided tape because the thinner stuff doesn't have any kind of adhesive or anything like that, so I kind of just made do with some double-sided tape. Hopefully it'll stick, and I've put it on most of the door card. That should help. It doesn't need 100% coverage, and I don't have the patience to do it anyway. So let's get it back together. Can you believe I put that whole damn door together without reattaching this damn thing? There it is, boys and girls, all buttoned back up. And I'm going to whack on the other side of the door. Sounding so much better. So much better. It's got some insulation in there. It's got that decoupling Overkill material in there of varying thicknesses. And, of course, the Damplifier Pro. Dude, I'm freaking pumped. It was kind of a bear to get it to, you know, go back together. I am not somebody that likes to mess with vehicle interiors. In fact, I would argue that I hate it. However, that door card over there, hello, you can see me in the reflection. That door over there needs the same treatment. I'm not going to bother filming it because it would be very, very redundant. Because you just saw me fumble over this, I'm going to go fumble over that for a little bit, and I will check back when I'm done. One thing I will say before I get started on this driver's side door is I kind of went through all the headaches on that door to be able to find the shortcuts for this door. Really, the kind of trials and tribulations of that one are going to set me up. Yes, I sliced a part of my thumb off trying to get the door card back on, cut this finger up, had my hair pulled by that door. Like, it was kind of a mess. However, I now know where the tough parts are. I know how to fix the issues, and I have all of the things to solve all of the issues with me. So I'm going to get that done right now.
2 hours later.
That took a little bit longer than expected. It was a little bit more challenging as a whole than I expected. But as you might be able to tell, the van is running. Let's take it for a spin. And I just thought of this. This might be relevant to the video. Let's go ahead and close the door from inside and see if I can tell a difference. I'm not sure if this will come across in video, but here we go. Oh my gosh. That actually like legit makes a difference in the sound of it. Like, this is the start of, like, all that back there has no sound deadening at all. None. Not at all. But this little change, well, little change to the door has certainly changed things up a little bit. Let's take it for a spin and maybe play some tunes, see how it sounds. The birds in this filming spot are just erupting across these woods. I'll spin around so you can see how thick it has gotten in this area. Also, shout out to the new Strands ditch lights. We did a video on that. It's super cool. So, what the hell did I observe on the way over here? I was unsure if it was like my mental bias because I spent a lot of time doing it. Maybe some of it is. The doors close more solidly. Obviously, there's more weight there. The sound deadening is definitely going to take part in that. But I felt like I noticed a bit less road noise. Now, it is sort of an Band-Aid on an axe wound situation with this van, like this is a small part, just those two doors, that's a small part of it. There's a lot more surface area to cover. That is for sure. There's a lot more surface area to cover. And I also noticed, I was listening to some Post Malone, just threw on something that was on there. I listened to a little bit of rock right before that. I think it was Pearl Jam, just trying different kinds of music. And what I did notice is that I put my hand on the door on the cart, and where I previously would like feel the bass vibrating inside the door, I no longer feel that. I feel like it's coming out, and the low end and the mids are a lot more punchy. There's, it's not great speakers. The center channel in that van is very, very overpowering, but it did feel like it sort of cleaned up the low end of the audio track, which is freaking fantastic for somebody like me that is a musician, somebody that just loves being on the road, jamming, listening to all kinds of stuff. That is freaking cool. So then I suppose we have to ask, is this something that you should tackle? I ran into some headaches. I ran into some challenges. I am not a patient man. And I would say that if you feel at all mechanically competent and you take your time and use the right tools and you're not trying to just barge through it for video's sake like I kind of was initially, like the second door went way better. It was like night and day with the driver's side door. I was way more calm. I was able to like get whole sheets in certain places where my brain just didn't do that with the passenger side. I don't know, but the driver's side went a lot better, which is great because I sit on that side. Like, duh, that's way better. That's why I saved it for last. With that said, I definitely think it is something you should check out. I am excited to have a little bit more insulation in there. I didn't realize until today that the Megazorb, the white product that goes in there, has some insulative properties. And as somebody that is going to be in all kinds of weather, hot, cold, you name it, everything in between, any little bit of extra insulation is definitely going to help. And that material is not that thick. It's not that thick. It provides a little bit of insulation. That R4.16, I think, is what they said in their video. That's huge. So should you do this? Should you spend your money on this? Yeah, probably. Yeah, especially if you're in a passenger car and you happen to be watching this video. If you're in a van, yes, absolutely. Always do this. Any sound deadening you can add to a van, absolutely. Especially one like this. It's a cargo van. 100% do it. It could be frustrating. You could get cut up. You could be super angry for like 10 minutes. But in the end, the totality of what this project, this two-door project has granted me was really positive, and I'm super pumped. And of course, I couldn't have done it without Second Skin. Now, they are one of the top dogs when it comes to heat and sound insulation, especially on vehicles. and I think y'all should check them out. There is a link in the description, of course. I mean, yeah, where else would I put it? It's just, I don't know, put it in my hand. There it is. Okay, so check them out. I'm losing it. It's getting late. Check them out and let me know what you guys think. And hopefully the next step in this sound deadening will be completely covering the rest of this thing in similar materials. We shall see. Thanks as always for watching, guys. We'll see you soon.